Hi, this is Michael London of the Branson Update magazine on December the 13th, and we're going to look at the site today for the purposes of whether or not it genuinely is set up to provide customer service versus perhaps trying to maximize revenue through advertising. The main reason to take a look at it this way is because customer service or the customer experience is being used as the reason or excuse that the Buy Now button has been set up to be serviced through one particular provider. At many public meetings, the Branson CVB has said it's all about customer service and improving the user experience. We're going to show you, however, today that instead of it being set up for customer service, it's instead set up to generate additional revenue. Let's look up the dining section and go to all restaurants. And let's take the premise that somebody has told us about a restaurant called Charlie's Steakhouse, and we want to find it. So we're going to go to all restaurants. What we're going to find there is that beautiful photo of food. We're going to see that we're at the all restaurants page. We're going to be told that there's all kinds of restaurants in the town. And then we're going to be presented three options here in terms of trip ideas that are restaurants not to miss, Billy Bob's, and Lakeside Dining. Well, we're looking for Charlie's Steakhouse, and we're sort of blocked in moving further by this horizontal border of what are presumably ads or ads hidden as customer service, because we're going to assume that Billy Gales must have paid for all this space. And if not, then we're at least not providing customer service by not providing a direct method to reach our destination. Most sites, if they were user-friendly or set up for the purposes of customer service, would have much earlier on that page had at least an alpha listing to be able to do, or a drop-down menu with an alpha listing to be able to find it. Quite frankly, most people would stop here because a horizontal line of ads right there and that color border here would typically be used to designate the bottom of a page. However, we can continue to look further and find out that in fact Branson restaurants are here. And the first ones that we're going to get to, however, are paid ads, which are going to stop us from actually being able to look for Charlie's until we see advertisements. And then we're going to find out quite by discerning, I guess, that Gyros and the Fudgery and Old Chicago, gee, how far would we have to look on these random listings to be able to find Charlie's? And isn't Charlie's being provided a disservice by the fact that a customer would have to look through how many pages to find Charlie's information? So obviously it's not set up for a customer service reason at all. It's set up first to show you multiple ways of intercepting you with advertiser paid or advertiser motivated ways to stop you from getting to the information that you actually wanted to get. Now, you couldn't find Charlie's. Certainly, you're going to be shown all these other ways to be able to find it. If you were then to look by category, if you knew that Charlie's was a steakhouse, you wouldn't find it there. Maybe you'd find it here. No, steaks aren't listed. So how would you find Charlie's? Well, if you've been to the site enough, you might be able to say skip to letter. This doesn't say alphabetical listing of restaurants. No, you'd have to know that skip to letter meant alphabetical. You could then go to the C for Charlie's, and quite by chance now, let's see, Cantina Laredo CH Chickaphil. Well, these aren't in alphabetical order either. So now, depending on how many pages of C advertisements there are, or rather C restaurant listings, you'd have to go, here we are, Charlie's Grilled Subs. Now, actually, that's not Charlie's Steakhouse. If it was an alpha listing, I could see Charlie's Grilled Subs, then I could see Charlie's Steakhouse and know that discern one from the other. But I can't, we found it. It's only taken us one page. But how many pages could it have taken us? Well, just the one, because fortunately, Charlie's has, the C portion of the alphabet only has the one listing. But you can see here, obviously, that this has not been set up to easily find anything. The same would be true for shows or for lodging. Let's look at the lodging portion of the listing. Let's say that we're looking for, well, let's pick one. Let's say we're looking for Barrington's. And we heard Barrington's was a really nice place. Here's all this information about lodging, a helpful guide to find the right one. Hotels near 76, all kinds of ways of finding, but we're looking for a specific restaurant called the Barrington's, and we find all these opportunities for ads to get in our way, and now we find not alpha listings, but ads as designated by these yellow markers, and they're not in alphabetical order, so how many pages of yellow markers will I have to go through before I find Barrington's? Now, of course, the site designer is going to say, oh, well, all they have to do is know to skip to letter. Well, that's not a traditional method of designating the alphabetical list. So you'd go through page after page, and presumably poor Barrington's might get lost in the shuffle because somebody might see one of these ads, which is the whole purpose of the way that the ad is set up, is so that Angel in Central, that has paid for an ad, will intercept the business that was on its way to Barrington's, unless the user-friendly site, which it's not, the customer was able to discern that in order to find Barrington's, they'd have to go to the letter B. And at the B's, when they get there, they'd have to now pass up Branson Best Western, Branson Towers. Just wanted to pick up that listing. I actually forget what we're looking for. Oh yeah, Barrington. Well, the customer might forget as well, because these are now not in alphabetical order. So even though I could skip to the letter, I now have to go through page after page of information before I can find the hotel that's been recommended to me. But this is the official site of there it is, finally. And we could read more about it. However, how many ads did I have to go past? How many things got in my way? Of course, the same is true for shows. Only shows are even more hidden because they don't have a dining or lodging up here. In order to find shows, you first got to know it's a thing to do. Then you'd go to live shows. And let's say that we're going to go look for, let's see, what show should we go look for? Let's go look for the Andy Williams show. Andy Williams Christmas show. Okay, well, we're going to go looking through here, and we can't find it because these are first paid for ads. And unless Andy's, these are not alpha listings. And so suddenly here we are, going to have to go through how many pages if we're not smart enough to discern that you have to then go here to the letter, or you can look for type of show, maybe it'd be under variety. There's all kinds of ways to be able to get lost in this site and not find what you want. And here you are, you've got acrobats. Well, Andy's would be somewhere between these two in alpha, so now you have to figure out, well, this isn't an alpha listing, this is listed some other way, and you'd have to now go through and, gee, you wouldn't find the Andy Williams Christmas show, even though it's one of Branson's more famous shows. I'm presuming that it's not listed here because they're not playing this year, and the people who listed weren't smart enough to put a date range that would include it going out into the future, and so their listing has actually fallen off the site. So here we go. We're all set up, and using the excuse that the reason why the site has been set up as it is relative to ticket sales is for the ease of customer using it, and yet in reality it's all set up to generate ad revenue. So let's call it like it is. Branson Chamber CVB wants the additional revenue of the ticket sales and not the customer service experience, because if they were interested in the customer service experience, it would be far easier to find what you're looking for on the official website of explorebranson.com. That's Michael London of Branson Update, speaking on behalf of the Branson shows and the ability to actually use tax dollars to create a user-friendly site based on being able to find information easily and not have to trip over ads and other things that get in the way of having a good customer experience. Thank you.